I started my 7 days of Christmas ornament adventure in 22, and this is 3 of the ornaments I did. And it was before I had even heard of nichrome wire and fusible bales, and I was coming off of years as a jewelry maker. So I used what I had, and this is sterling silver wire. You can see it's tarnished. I haven't polished them. I just pulled them out of storage. And then this is a sterling silver bale as well, a glue-on bale. A very dear friend of mine wore one of my ornaments as a necklace. To me, they've always been tree ornaments, but once I saw that picture, I sort of can't unsee it now. And I've gone back through, and some of them would make adorable pendants. So the one I'm going to work on today, I can't actually find the one I made, but it's a tree where you string it with Swarovski crystal. This was just a quick template. It doesn't have a trunk, and it needs a trunk. So I'm going to show you how to turn what I always viewed as a holiday ornament into a holiday pendant. And then I'm going to put it on top of a tecta base, trace around it, and cut out the base because I want this to be 2 layers. I need to cut notches in both layers. Since I like the way this one looks, I'm going to use this as a template. One thing that I did not do, but absolutely should have, was make sure when it was done, these were parallel lines. So I have to revise this and say, do not use a template, use a ruler. Because these are not acceptable. And so wherever there's a notch, I'm just going to put a mark through both the tecta and, in this case, the aventurine green, so I will know where to cut the Torah saw. And so then I will go back and I will just make about an 1/8 of an inch notch in both layers. So I'm going to glue these 3 pieces together. Well, clean them off first. Make sure they're dry. The Sharpie will burn off, so I'm not all that worried about that. But I want to line them up, glue them together, and then I'm going to put them in for a tack fuse. I do not want them to turn into a blob, but I do want it to pull in, round off those notches, and even it out. Oops, and I do need to trim my stem a little bit, but I think I will grind that instead of cutting it. I love my lapidary grinder because while there are days that I can cut like a pro, there are days that I can't cut to save my life. And the ability to just grind everything down is just delightful. So I'm going to assemble this, run it for a tack fuse, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to wire it and put the beads on. So as you're gluing this together, you do need to attach the bale. I have beautiful fire-in sterling bales that were designed to be used with precious metal clay. I can't find them, so I'm just going to use nichrome wire with this. But my first choice would be the silver bale. It's perfect for this application. Without it, if I have to glue on a bale or drill a bale, I could go with 1 layer, except the tree trunk is not quite as secure if it's not 2 layer, and you need the tree trunk in order to start your wire wrapping. So let me make a bale for these. Not the best way to do it because the tree comes to such a point and you really need the bale to be smaller. It would be perfect for those others. like I said, I can't find it. If I decide to make more of these, I will order more of those perfect bails. In the meantime, I'm going to use the preformed nichrome wire bails. Well, these are usually hooks. I'm going to get rid of half of it so that it'll fit. So we need to make a loop at the top. And because I don't have the right bail, I'm going to end up possibly needing a jump ring. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to do this in a way that will work without the jump ring. And then instead of bending the loop in the same way, I'm going to hold it the other way and bend it sideways. So then hopefully I can put this into the pendant in a way that the ring will work for a chain without an additional jump ring. And I need it to be tight and tiny because you're going to be able to see it from the back, and it might interfere with that notch if I'm not super careful about the way I put it in. So see, this one, the loops are perpendicular. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, last step after these come out of the kiln is to wire wrap them with the beads. I prefer the 3mm Swarovski crystals, and they didn't have it. They did have the 4, which will work as well. It's a necklace. I'm going to use sterling wire. Let me see what the, oh, I don't know what the gauge is. It's probably 20 gauge because it's pretty thin. Okay, to start this, we're going to make a double loop. That's pretty tight. So make a tight double loop. We're going to hold it with your thumb and wrap the base. I like to do twice, but these are giving me a hard time this year, so I may just go once. It's been a while since I've done these. And then you're gonna go through the double loop, and you have to just be really careful that you don't kink your wire. You're going to pull tight, and then you're going to pull it back. So you want it right up at the base. You want a nice snug fit. And then you're going to string the beads on the wire. Oops. Because when we're coming across the back, we don't have beads, but when we come across the front, we want beads on there. And you can either string a whole bunch at one time, or you can string a few just to get across that section. Once you get enough to go across the face of the tree, you're going to go into the next notch and then pull it diagonally across the back. And then when you come to the front, you're going to string your next set of beads. And you keep doing that. Beads on the front. Just pull it across the back until you get to the top. And then when you get to the top, you're going to make sure everything is straight and the way you want it. You're going to take this wire and you're going to wrap it around the hook, usually about 3 times. And then you're going to trim it and make sure the wire is embedded in the hook so that it's not going to catch on clothing. And then you just need to make sure that everything is straight and the way you want it. You need to be really careful. You see, I cut that notch a little too high, so that swag is a little crooked. And there's not a lot I can do about it now, but that turns what I think of as a Christmas ornament into a necklace by scaling it down. And it definitely would be better with the 3mm crystals, but I just could not find them.